You were already world champion when South Africa was isolated under apartheid. You've spoken about the complexities of our country and representing the country back then. Looking back now, how did you navigate that space?
That was a very difficult time. No golfers ever had to have that. I mean, they spoke about the Ryder Cup this last month. It was Mickey Mouse. They threw ice in my eyes. They threw telephone books in my back. They charged me on the green. They screamed. They threw balls between my legs. I lost the PGA, which is one of the 4 biggest tournaments, by 1 shot. And I, for 2 years, lived where they wanted to kill me every day, demonstrated against me every day. It was tough. But I kept saying, you can demonstrate all the way you like. I'm never going to use the word hate. I love you, even though you demonstrate against me. I said, because we have great people. I didn't invent apartheid. And I said, come and see South Africa for yourself. And we changed, and we got Madiba.
We have made it very clear in our policy that South Africa is a country of many races. There is room for all the various races in this country.
I mean, how lucky were we to get Madiba? So things have changed. Most young people in this country have no idea what apartheid was like. When I was a young man, if you said something against the government, you got 90 days jail. So we were petrified. So we've made some great changes.
And I mean, as someone who's lived through both eras, what lessons from South Africa's transition to democracy do you believe still matter today, especially as the world grapples with division and inequality?
It's a very hard question. You know, you think they won't agree, but there are 20 million people crossed our borders. How do we give them a job? How do we give them education? We've got such a high rate of unemployment. That's dangerous. You know, these people came to our country with a dream to improve their life. They haven't. I went back to my house that I lived in yesterday in Boysons. I mean, it's a squalor. It's a squalor. These people have to live under those conditions. I walked out there, I was in tears. It breaks my heart to think that people can't get a job, young, qualified, brilliant young blacks can't get a job in this country. We've got to do tourism. We've got to do everything to encourage tourism. That's the quickest way to get investment. People come here, see what a great country it is. We've got to change a lot of our policies, let me tell you. And I'm sure we will do that. And it's a sensible, and we all make mistakes. But now we've got to rectify those mistakes and bring people here so everybody can have a place in the sun. Right now, not everybody can have a place in the sun. And I suffered as a kid, and I want to see that happen. And that's why I spend the rest of my life now. It's not going to be playing as a professional golfer. It's raising money for underprivileged people.
Do you believe that sport is a healer? Because we've seen it through Madiba's, gestures through rugby, the 95 Rugby World Cup, 96 Africa Cup of Nations. You doing your thing with the golf. You feel there's something special about sport that touches lives beyond?
You've hit the nail on the head. Madiba, our great father, he's resting in heaven now, knowing what he did for this country. When I'm overseas now, you can imagine when I was a young man, no black man played rugby. You never saw coloureds or Indians. And I'm overseas seeing us beat the New Zealanders, and we got black galleries, coloureds, Indians, Afrikaners, English, Muslims, all screaming for our team. Honestly, I sit there and I cry, because I never thought that I would ever see anything like it. It's hard for a young man to understand what we lived through. I never thought I would ever see that. And sport, as he said appropriately, Madiba said, sport can change the world. People without hope, can have a place in the sun. It's taken many people in the world that had nothing as children and made them rich people. Muhammad Ali, Tiger Woods, all these people, think about what they've done. All the black sportsmen in America, all our rugby players, our cricketers, we're champions.
And I remember now recently Donald Trump in the Oval Office called a few golfers to come through and, just speak and, amend things between the two countries' relations. He also hoped that you would have been there.
I turned that down. I turned it down because I didn't feel it would be a success. And I'm pleased I turned it down. I do my ambassadorial work with a TV, and I answer honestly. I tell you what's bad, and I tell you what's good. And that's what you've got to do. You've got to be honest. And but anyway, let's hope things, because America are the ones that put all the money into this country. Think about it, $20 billion in our country. Our debt is over 1 billion rand a day. How are you going to have development? We're going to make a lot of wise movements, a lot of wise choices. We've got to be humble. You know, when I have a bad round of golf and I lose the world title, I say, you know, I'm sad. I'm upset. I might even cry. But I say, I made a mistake. I made a mistake. You've got to admit it. And governmental people have got to, when they make a mistake, they've got to say, look, we made a mistake. I'm sorry. And come back with a good policy. We're too proud at the moment to do that. And you can't live like that. I've got to go. I'm in the middle of a tournament. All I can say is the great joy I've had in this tournament. I had a man work on my farm at Colesberg for 40 years. And he suddenly worked there, and another young man. And of all the 400 people I invited here, we got them to come from Colesberg, arrive here at a BMW, and stay in this great hotel in a big suite, and they're going to have a party of their lives. And of all the guests, I love them so much, and to see them enjoying it because they helped me in my life.
42 years of age, when everybody said nobody could win the Masters after 40, I was 7 shots behind Tom Watson with the last round to play. Shot 64 to win by 1 shot. And then Ballesteros, who I was playing with, who I loved, Sevi, he came up to me and says, Gary, you teach me to win Masters today.
Winston Churchill, the greatest leader the world ever said, the height that great men reached and kept were not attained by sudden flight, but while his opponents were sleeping, he was toiling upward in the night. And what is the conclusion? Hard work.
From triumphs on the greens to quiet moments of reflection, Gary Player's life reminds us that greatness is not measured in trophies, but in the impact one life can have on others. A champion, a teacher, a South African icon. I'm Khotso Sello, and this has been A Life Well Played, the Gary Player story.